Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. Advice is everywhere on how to fight fat, fix fashion faux pas, win on Wall Street, and create culinary delights. But do you know how to zap sap? When I come back, I'll tell you.
O'Reilly. When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tree sap deposits aren't part of summer's prettier side. They create ugly stains on your car's finish. Here's a fix. Hold ice cubes over sap lumps for several minutes. Then gently push against them with a plastic spatula to break them off. With a soft cloth dipped in a very hot detergent water mixture, rub the residue vigorously. Hose with cool water. When dry, polish the sap spots, then wax your whole car. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with another Car Clinic Minute. It shields you from wind and rain and from stinging bees and low-flying objects. Nope, it's not your mom, but it does protect you when you drive. When I come back, I'll tell you what it is.
O'Reilly.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Ancient road warriors used shields for protection, and so do you. Your thoroughly modern windshield. Yes, the first drivers used goggles to fend off weather and bugs. Then these were replaced by plate glass, which protected better but shattered easily. Finally, in the mid-20s, lamination was introduced. In this process, used today, 2 glass layers are sandwiched around a flexible, clear sheet of laminate designed to prevent glass from shattering into the passenger cabin. Thanks to windshields and moms, trips down life's highways are safer. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. Ah, the sweet ping of wind chimes on your patio. Uh-oh, you're not on your patio, but in your car? Then there's nothing sweet about that ping. When I come back, we'll face the music.
O'Reilly.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The ping of a grandfather clock may sound comforting, but coming from your engine, it's bad news. Pinging is an abnormal form of combustion in your engine cylinders that causes shock waves which produce that metallic sound. Increasing the octane of gas to reduce pinging's like taking cough drops for bronchitis. The symptoms mask, but the underlying problems and potential damage to sensors, emission systems, and even the onboard computer just increases. So heed that little ping before it becomes the gong of expensive repairs. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. Has the boss got you down? Career at a stalemate? Office boring? Hey, turn that frown upside down. When I come back, I'll share some gee whizzes that'll make you a hit at the water cooler.
O'Reilly.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here are some automotive gee whizzes that'll make you go, Did you know Theodore Roosevelt was the first president to drive a car and to own one? Did you know the last Russian Tsar, Nicholas II, had a pair of Rolls Royces? And Lenin, the father of communism, had a Rolls of his own. Did you know Clyde Barrow, the famous gangster, wrote to Henry Ford telling him what a dandy car he made? Wow, this has been fun. Now go show off at the water cooler. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 3-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 1-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 30-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 10-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. If you have a car question for Bobby, call now at 1-800-264-5454, toll free from anywhere in America. And now, here's your host, Bobby Likis.
And good morning, folks. Welcome to, oh my gosh, number one of two programs left. So that's right, next week, 10/10/2020 will be my final broadcast, which brings us to today's broadcast. I want to welcome you. It's going to be a very special show. I'm dedicating this program today to each and every car clinic listener that ever called or didn't call but just tuned in. So I'm Bobby Likis, your host, proud to be with you. So sit back, relax, and ride along with me for this hour. Millie will take your calls at 888 Car Clinic. That's 888-227-2546. Bobby Likis Car Clinic is brought to you in part by O'Reilly Auto Parts. If you need replacement parts for your repair, maintenance, or restoration project, O'Reilly Auto Parts has you covered. And folks, you can trust their friendly, knowledgeable parts professionals. They know what it takes to get the job done right the first time. In fact, professional technicians like I have counted on O'Reilly Auto Parts for years. Stop by and talk to one of their professional parts people today. That's O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Your calls coming up next. Please get in early rather than wait till the last of the program so we have time to discuss what I can do to help you enjoy your car and keep your car in your garage versus the repair garage. Well, now, that's a novel idea. 888 Car Clinic. I'm ready after the break. Don't go away. A 2013 Honda Accord came in the shop running rough, stalling, and a check engine light. The vehicle had originally been repaired by another shop. After a thorough diagnosis, we found the vehicle was generating a bad signal from the crankshaft position sensor. This seemed odd as it had just recently been replaced, but the scope doesn't lie. A bad waveform signal needs to be fixed. Our solution? A new crankshaft position sensor from Motorrad. A longtime leader for vehicle thermostats and caps, Motorrad now offers engine management products that are engineered to meet and or exceed OEM specifications. They're designed to perform under severe operating conditions and are resistant to extreme heat. We made the change and that fixed the car. Motorrad engine management products are manufactured in Tier 1 OEM facilities with top quality qualifications. They undergo comprehensive 100% in-line and end-of-line testing to ensure uncompromising quality. Learn more about Motorrad engine management products and other Motorrad solutions at motorrad.com. New vehicles are nice but costly. In today's climate, many of us are holding on to cars and trucks longer than normal. If you have an older vehicle and are trying to keep it going for a long time, consider using Berryman B60 High Mileage Oil System Rejuvenator. B60 cleans and protects the crankcase and engine oil system on all gas-powered engines, including those exceeding 60,000 miles. Maybe you have a small oil leak from a gasket or a seal. B60 conditions and revitalizes seals and gaskets to help stop engine oil leaks. Berryman B60 contains zinc-based ZDDP and to fight friction, heat, and wear. Anytime you can reduce wear, you extend engine life. It also helps prevent sludge formation to maximize engine performance and life. It's safe for all gasoline-powered vehicles and also safe for use with catalytic converters and oxygen sensors. Try a bottle of Berryman B60 with your next oil change and help to stretch your vehicle's miles. Drive to BerrymanProducts.com for more information about Berryman B60 High Mileage Oil System Rejuvenator and other great Berryman products. That's BerrymanProducts.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
P-Ricey Outfitters, I'm Tina. How can I help you?
I'd like to place an order.
Great. Which item?
The cotton roll neck sweater, large.
Okay. Periwinkle, Loden, or caramel?
The caramel, please.
The what?
I'd like it in caramel.
Oh, the caramel?
Yeah, that's what I said, Tina.
Actually, you said caramel when it's pronounced caramel.
Can't we just call it yellow?
No.
Everyone knows the best part of a Milky Way. They just don't know how to say it. After all, it's our caramel.
It's caramel.
Ugh, that makes a Milky Way great.
You start my morning, you stir in my soul, you warm my heart, make me feel whole. Your aroma calls me, starts my morning, happy morning. Your name is Folgers Mountain Grown. Now you're here, your aroma helps me wake, and the day is mine to take. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
Okay, let's get started with today's broadcast, folks. Again, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic, brought to you in part by Berryman Products. Berryman's been helping consumers and repair shops alike since 1918, providing solutions to help maintain and improve vehicle drivability. You can drive to BerrymanProducts.com for more information. And I endorse Berryman Products. I use them in my own automobile, so I would say to you, check them out. Go to BerrymanProducts.com. Okay, 888 Car Clinic is the number. 888-227-2546. We're going to go to David in California. Then we're going to go to Jim in Mississippi. And then we're going to go to New Mexico. And then by that time, you'll have an opportunity to dial in at 888-227-2546. David, good morning. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Where do you live in California?
Up here where it's all on fire, up in Oroville, California.
Well, sorry to hear that. Just to give us a 20-second overview of the smoke factor and what's going on there in California.
It looks like fog sometimes, low visibility, and then oftentimes you wake up in the morning, there's ash on the cars.
So years ago, a gentleman called me from California when they had, in fact, he sent me some ashes in a jar, and he operated for General Motors a quick lube oil change, at a place. And what was interesting is he and I came up with a way that people could drive their cars through the ash. And what we did, because you replace an air filter, and the air filter's good for like 3 miles, and then you got to throw it away because the engine won't breathe. So we devised, and we came up with the idea, take a silk stocking, a regular ladies' silk stocking, and wrap it around the intake pipe of the air box. And all you got to do is slide the silk stocking over a bit, after you drive 5 miles, and that way you could go for like 100 miles. It was really an ingenious. We never did patent it because I don't think you could patent that sort of an air filter, but it sure worked for the circumstances. Let's talk about your subject. How can I help you today?
Well, the engine I'm working on is a 59 Austin engine, and it has an oil bath air cleaner, but I was calling to see if you guys recommend any kind of a pre-oil system. I remember last week you talking about the cylinder walls, oiling the cylinder walls.
Well, a pre-oiler or an accumulator we used originally on race cars, and there's still many race drivers and engine builders use an accumulator, which is nothing more than a compressed 65 psi of maybe 2 quarts of engine oil, which really works to pre-oil the engine. But if you use a good quality oil and you have an engine that is in excellent shape or in good shape, you really don't need to pre-oil it. In fact, to that end, David, for years I thought, and so did every other car guy I think in the world, that if you change the oil and filter, you should fill the filter first, because when you fire the engine, it has to fill the oil filter before oil pressure gets to the engine. Well, that's not true at all. In fact, I have an anatomy of an oil filter white paper. I'm a big white paper fan, and it says that you do not need to do that there is a film of oil left. Now, having said that, what I was referring to last week, if you heard the program last week, was that if you took a perfectly healthy engine and disconnected the ignition system and spun the engine over, every time the engine turned over, fuel would squirt down, and the fuel would wash the cylinder down, and that's where the ring would then touch metal to metal, and you would score the rings and damage the cylinder. On a brand new engine, you could do that. So if an engine doesn't crank on the first few attempts, I mean, even in a healthy engine, and folks, for those of you who are not interested in the oil film, if you ever have an engine that doesn't start and light off right away, do not continue to grind the starter, because you're causing and likely to cause damage to the rings. So, David, with regard to your particular engine, if it's healthy, and of course that engine has tolerances that are huge, sloppy, actually, compared to today's engines, you don't need a pre-oiler. There's no need in going to that. Number one, here's the challenge. When you use anything external on an engine, you have to run plumbing. And therein lies the extra opportunity for a leak or a fire or some failure. So that's a system that you don't need to add. You got it?
Got it.
Thanks for your call. Appreciate you. Hey, stay cool, no pun intended, in California in the fire. Let's go to Jim. Let's go from California to Mississippi. Okay, Jim, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Company. How you doing, my friend?
Buddy, I'm sitting out here drinking coffee this morning, just enjoying life. But what that guy was talking about just then, for years I've been getting these oil filters with check valves on them.
Yeah. All filters have check valves, but the check valve is there for bypass. And to sustain the filter after it's full. You got a bypass valve, which pops off in case the filter's restricted to keep from starving the engine, which that should never happen unless you just run it. And then the check valve is to sustain the oil that's within the filter, but that has nothing to do with just when you first fire the engine up. Anyway, okay. Let's talk about your transmission. You had a what do we?
I want to tell you, take your right hand, reach over your left shoulder, give yourself a pat on the back.
I could if I had a rotator cuff. Well, wait a minute, I could do that.
Well,
I can do it better with the left hand than I can with the right arm.
I pull them battery cables off that van.
Yeah.
Just together. Let it sit out there about 10 minutes, put it back together. That thing drives like a brand new one. But
here it
I got a 2001 Dodge Caravan.
Right.
And I got the manual. I'm the second owner of both of these vehicles. I got to read in that manual, and you can take that doggone key bob and reset that transmission with it.
Well,
just by holding down off and on the lock and unlock buttons. I said, I have never in my life heard of this.
Well, that's new to me, and you know, but you'd be surprised in my car, and we're going to move along at a faster pace today, only because we've got so many people calling, and it's next to my final broadcast. But Jim, in my car, it has a touch on, touch off dome light, and if you want the dome light to work when you open the door, then you leave it alone. If you don't want it to work when you open the door, you hold the dome light switch, just hold your finger on it for 5 seconds, and that reprograms the onboard computer to shut it off permanently. So it doesn't, you know, go on and off. So it's very interesting at what computers, you know, you push a window switch down, you don't tell you don't push the power to the window switch. You send a request to the body control module, and the body control module says, oh, the owner wants the window down. Then the body control module tells the battery and connects the battery directly to the motor. And that way the cars can use a 5-volt reference signal and lighter wire, so they reduce the overall weight of the car. It's very interesting. All that's very interesting. Hey, my friend.
Well, one quick question, Bobby. I don't want to tie you up long.
Okay.
Both of these vehicles, when you hit the key, sometimes there's nothing. You do it 3 or 4 times. Finally, it'll start clicking. Then the starter will engage, and it will crank. You can pull the top off that fuse box under the hood, put your hand on those relays, you can feel them clicking. Now, I've pulled them out, and I've cleaned them. I've put the white lithium grease on, put them back in, but it's still doing the same thing. You help me on that?
Well, you clean the battery cable on the block, where the battery terminal cable terminates on the engine block. Even if it looks okay, pull the cable off, take a wire brush, scrape it, put it back on, secure it. That's number one. You already cleaned the battery terminal, so I know I wouldn't go there. And then last but not least, if you want to go to the diagnostic trouble to determine the real root cause, which is what you have to do to fix anything, what you would do is you would put a light that would be triggered by the same voltage when you turn the key to the crank position. And if the light comes on and you get no crank, you know it's not the car, it's the starter or the relay. You got it?
Got it.
Got to go.
Well, Bobby, I got the paper towels I got from you back in 2001. I found them the other day. I've long since wore out my T-shirt I got from you, but I still got about a half a row of them towels. Well, and we're just going to put them up and keep them, I guess.
I guess you'll have to, my friend. Hey, thank you for your call. Don't forget, I'll be here next week. Thank you, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to California and take a call from Mark. Mark, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Hey, Bobby. How you doing?
Oh, Mark.
Good morning.
Mark Roush. So folks, let me tell you, this gentleman is a longtime gentleman that he and I have had partnerships together. Mark Roush is the executive vice president and co-publisher of The Auto Channel, which is the largest independent information auto channel on the globe, I think. Mark, is that correct?
I think in the whole galaxy, Bob. Actually.
I thought you were gonna say, like you were gonna be humble. But hey, folks, this gentleman is from New York. He's born in New York and he lives in California. So that we've got the East Coast and the West Coast all wrapped up into one individual. Mark, I have a hard break coming up, so I'm gonna turn the mic to you. But when you hear the music, you know we got to go. But don't go anywhere, because I'm gonna talk to you on the other side of the break. So what's up with you these days?
Well, of course, I was laughing. Your first caller, who was also from California.
See the music? I knew that was coming up. So, Mark, you stay right there. Cliff in California, Tim Scott in New Mexico, and most importantly, the rest of you, 888 Car Clinic, when I come back. Cooling system repairs, we've all needed them. But what happens when that local mechanic or your garage is miles away? Situations like this were made for K-Seal, a pour-in solution that helps stop cooling system leaks. Other sealers use sodium silicate, which can clog the system. K-Seal features ceramic technology designed to repair the leak without clogging. Tough times create the need to be prepared. Make K-Seal part of your emergency road kit. K-Seal is available nationwide at stores like Walmart. Check walmart.com for store hours and shipping options. As we kick off National Car Care Month in the midst of COVID-19, making sure your vehicle is road ready has never been more important. The Car Care Council remind you it's the perfect time for a thorough check of various vehicle maintenance items like brakes, batteries, tires, cooling system, filters, headlights, and the exhaust system. Visit carcare.org to find out how you can best keep your vehicle safe and dependable. It's National Car Care Month. Are you car care aware? Learn more at carcare.org. That's carcare.org. Folks, remember this name, autobatteries.com. Autobatteries.com, courtesy of Clarios, is a fantastic site that tells you, number one, how batteries work, battery technology, how to choose your battery in case you need a battery. You just don't go out and buy any battery for your automobile, especially with the high demands that today's cars have with backup start-stop technology, backup cameras, multi-center stacks that have all sorts of electronics. Everything starts at the battery, no pun intended. Autobatteries.com also shows you how to install, how to recycle, how to test batteries, where to get a test for free, jump starting, just a host of information that you should know when you need, hopefully you won't, but when you need a battery for your automobile. Just remember, autobatteries.com. It's a fantastic site with information that every car owner needs to know. You need to go there, and you need to see for yourself and learn what it takes so that when you go into a service shop, should you need a battery, you'll know the right questions to ask. Again, courtesy of Clarios, go to autobatteries.com. That's autobatteries.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
The airlines like to have sales. Summer getaway sales, holiday sales, winter sales. Truth is, at any moment, some airline somewhere is on sale with low fares to great destinations. Travelocity knows exactly what's going on, who's on sale, to where, and when, at over 700 airlines worldwide. We even have this nifty feature that lets you look at a calendar so that you can see exactly the days the great fares are available. Travelocity.com. Go virtually anywhere. AOL keyword, travel.
Hun, guess my temperature.
It's 2 a.m. Go to sleep.
Come on, one guess.
I'm 98.
Higher.
Higher, 99.
You're getting warmer. Wait, I'm getting warmer.
Cold symptoms keeping you from getting a good night's sleep? Get NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever so you can sleep better to feel better medicine. Use as directed.
One more guess.
100?
Yes. Tell her what she's won, Bob.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to this segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. So glad you tuned in today. Just a reminder, I could shoot myself. This is the number one of two remaining shows. It's hard for me to get my thoughts wrapped around that, but I don't know what I'll be doing on Saturday after next week. But I will no longer be a cheap date on Friday nights, I can tell you that. Mark, I'm glad to have you with us on air. Give our listeners and viewers on Bobby Likis Car Clinic a quick overview, the 30,000 view of Mark Roush, Bob Gordon, and the Auto Channel.
Well, Bob, we started the Auto Channel actually in 1987 as a television network, and we eventually morphed over to this brand new thing called the Internet in very early 1995. We knew we could do TV on the Internet. Nobody else believed it, but we thought we could. We certainly knew we could do audio. And by 96, we were broadcasting. We were the very first people to ever do streaming video on the Internet back in February 1996. And then we started doing live streaming, which was unheard of at that time, live streaming video. And we started working with you in, I believe it was the SEMA show in 96, I want to say. Either the SEMA show in 96 or CES in early 97. I don't remember exactly.
May have been CES. Gary Shapiro, the Consumer Electronics Association, who had a fantastic organization. I remember this, and I'll say this just quickly. When I first met you, you said, you had your studio set up there on the floor at the convention center, and you had
as I remember, at least a half a dozen computers, and your teammates were on a computer. And I said, what are they doing? You said, well, we're doing streaming live, and we're interviewing people. Would you like to interview some people? I said, well, yeah, sure, why not? So, folks, I want to tell a quick story. So Mark put me in front of his backdrop, and he had people lined up, and he handed me a card of someone I never met before, and I would look at the card and say, oh, this is George Jones. George, welcome to the Auto Channel. We did 33 of those, you dog. We did 33 of those that same day, and you uploaded every one of those in real time, well, sort of in real time at the time. And I'll never forget that because I couldn't talk after that, believe that or not. And furthermore, your son was the one that configured our video streamer. And we were also streaming video before we were country, it was cool. We were streaming video as well in 1998, and I still have that same piece of equipment. And he drew out on a piece of paper the configuration of the computers and what have you. And Mark and folks, this is really interesting. We were writing scripts. I didn't even know what a script was. I don't mean the script for a spot. We were writing scripts, and we would put the script in the audio, and people would watch the program, the Bobby Likis Car Clinic, and whenever a sponsor came on, like say 3M, your computer would be taken from my website to 3M's website without you touching it, and then bring it back to my website. And I thought that was, I thought that was a little bit, I don't know, a little strange to say the least. Yeah, it was. So hats off to you. And your son then went overseas, did he not?
Yeah, that's actually Bob's son. That's Bruce.
Oh, it's Bruce. Okay.
That's Bob's son. And Bruce is and still is a great computer whiz, and he's got two sons now who are as good as he was.
Wow.
But Bruce was terrific.
Yeah.
And those were great, and those were fun days.
Very much so.
It was all brand new. Nobody else in the world was doing that stuff at the time.
Well, it's great to lead the way. Well, my friend, I really appreciate your call today, and folks, for information, I mean, like a new car, we've all seen new car reviews. Go to the Auto Channel, and you will see more information on the Auto Channel than any other. I guess you and Google are friends. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, Mark Roush, Executive Vice President and co-publisher, and he is a producer and an author as well. He's written several books, and the last book was a 600-page book about the fuels of the world. So, Mark, I appreciate your call, and I thank you and Bob, and we've had such a great partnership for a long time.
Yes. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you. Mark Roush, the Auto Channel. Okay, who is in California, although he's born in New York. Let's go back to, or stay in California, Captain Jim Maley. Welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Glad to have you join us today.
Well, it's a pleasure to be back here, even though it's one show to go. I'll tell you what, Bobby, 2020 has been a real interesting year, and you just made it more interesting.
Well, does that mean I'm like COVID-19 or something?
Well, it's just everything seems like it's kind of, weird maybe. But,
you're
anyway,
right. Yeah. What is the new norm? As they say, the new norm. There's always some caption for things that are going on. So, hey, do me a favor, if I may. So, folks,
yes.
For your information, Captain Jim was John Wayne's captain, and I'd love to hear a story about John Wayne. And first, it was 134-foot wooden boat, yacht.
126.
126.
Minesweeper.
Converted. So tell us a story about John Wayne, because he won't hear you.
Well, I'll tell one you like the best about. I had only been working for him for less than maybe a week, and the boat was up in Canada, and he was on board, and we took him out fishing, and we carried two small boats on deck, and that's what they fished out of. So that afternoon, I ran out with a big boat, pick them up, and then we were going to go on down to a new spot and spend the night. So we picked him up, and as procedure, we tie one boat behind the other. There's two small boats behind the big one. By the way, its name was Wild Goose, his yacht. Anyway, I was going into a bay that I'd never been in before. I'd been in most of that area up there. I'd been spending a lot of time there. And so it was normal procedure when I'd go into a bay that I'd never been in before. I'd have the fathom meter going, which had a chart graph on it that would show you the contour of the bottom. So I would want to make a couple of big circles in order to make sure there weren't any rocks or too shallow or too deep or anything like that, just to check it out. And so I was starting into the second circle when all of a sudden I heard this boom, 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 footsteps coming up the companionway and up into the wheelhouse, and here come John Wayne, and he was about half out of breath, and he always called me Skipper. So he goes, Skipper, Skipper, where are the Indians at? And I go, oh, Mr. Wayne, I don't think there's anybody living in this particular bay here. The chart doesn't show anything. And he says, well, in a very John Wayne voice, he says, somebody gave the order to circle the boats, and he walked out of the wheelhouse. And it took me a few minutes before all of a sudden it hit me.
Talk about circle the wagons.
Circle the wagons. That was one of his famous lines. And what?
Well, I think that's a great story, and I know that you'd have a lot of stories. And maybe, and folks, this gentleman has invited me to be a judge of the International Chili Cook-Off for like 10 years now, and you actually sent me medallions. I don't wear them because I haven't been there yet. But I promise you, after I retire, and I don't know when, but I promise you that I'm going to accept your invitation to be the judge of an international chili cook-off, because this is his gig now, and he travels the globe in his motorhome. And I made a statement to folks, to Captain Jim, I don't know how to judge. I know what I like, but I can't say that I'm qualified to be a judge. And so you never ask a question that you don't already know the answer. He says, don't worry, we have a class for the judges the day before. So what are you going to answer with that? So I thank you for your call. It's always great to hear from you, and I wish you the best of health, and I look forward to meeting you face to face in the future.
Okay, same here. I appreciate you letting me have a little airtime. Thanks, Bobby, and good luck.
Thank you, Captain Jim. Okay, let's go from California to New Mexico and take a call from Tim Scott. Tim Scott. Okay, this gentleman, I will share with you folks the gas prices for the U.S. This is U.S. regular gasoline. National average is $2.16. What's interesting is that if you compare the $2.16 to this time last week, every region of the 9 regions in the U.S., the Gulf Coast, East Coast, New England, Rocky Mountain, West Coast, California, the price of gas is lower than it was same time last week. Another interesting point, gas prices are lower than same time last year. So that's very interesting. Tim Scott, welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Connect. Thank you for call.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
How's everybody?
Well, we're in good shape here. So what's going on in Alamogordo?
Not too much, but before I forget, and I'm not trying to get you emotional, let us know the update on your daughter.
She had a 5-hour operation this week. And just the surgeon is an artist. I won't go into on the air what they did, but I will tell you, I saw pictures of his work, and he is an artist, and she is a trooper, to say the least. But thank you for asking. It's all well. It's all well. So anyway, thank you so much, Tim. I appreciate that.
Good. Misty, Tim Scott says hi. someday I want to meet you and your father. So
That sounds great to me. So
anyway, gasoline.
Yeah, gasoline.
Alamogordo, New Mexico. Today's gas is $1.77.
You guys, we're $1.83.6 on the Gulf Coast. So I don't know what it is about your little region there. Maybe they know that they're trying to build, they're trying to maybe entice people to move to Alamogordo because you're always cheaper on gasoline there. Tim, got to go. Thank you so much for your call. Appreciate you. It's back to school time, and the Car Care Council has a 5-point checklist to make sure your vehicle is kid-safe and road-ready. First, check lights and wipers for visibility. Second, get an annual brake inspection. 3, check tires for underinflation or excessive wear. 4, review tips for seatbelt fit and position. And 5, if your car isn't already equipped, consider installing a backup camera to help reduce the risk of backover incidents. Find more great tips, videos, and recommended service schedules at carcare.org. You know we use PB Blaster for breaking free rusted parts, but now the Blaster Pro Straw makes it even better. But that's just one of the specially formulated products from the Blaster Corporation to fix, loosen, lubricate, penetrate, and conquer each job. There's Multimax synthetic lubricant, garage door lubricant, white lithium grease, and so much more. So don't bust knuckles, bust nuts with PB Blaster. Blaster products are available at a home, auto, or hardware stores near you. Always use Blaster products and work it like a pro.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Waking up can be a chore, but mornings knocking on my front door. Know just what I'll do. Put on a pot of Folgers brew. Mountain grown aroma hits the spot. Helps me give all that I've got. An opportunity to start out smiling and happy. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
I'm privileged to be involved with Capstone Adaptive Learning, formerly known as United Cerebral Palsy, for over 25 years. Since 1953, Capstone has provided quality care programs for persons with developmental disabilities like autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, and intellectual disabilities. Dr. Sherry White with her team are dedicated to Capstone's clients, and 100% of your contributions stay local to serve those in this community. Go to capstoneadaptivelearning.org to see the difference Capstone makes.
Technology moves at the speed of innovation, and today, that's lightning fast. So when you get your hands on the latest tech, don't forget to do the right thing with your old devices. Recycle them. The Consumer Technology Association and its members are making recycling your old tech device as easy as purchasing new ones. Just go to greenergadgets.org, type in your zip code, and you'll instantly find the responsible recycling location closest to your home. You'll also find lots of tips to simplify your recycling, like asking the store where you buy your new TV if they'll haul away your old one. Television sets, video game consoles, smartphones, tablets, they're all recyclable. Don't let them clog up your local landfill. Just visit greenergadgets.org. You're sharp enough to get the latest tech tools into your home. Now be responsible enough to get your old devices to the recycler. That's greenergadgets.org.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to this segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic, brought to you in part by K-Seal. That's really a great product. If you've got an automobile that has perhaps a head gasket leak or an intake manifold or other types of coolant leaks, heater cores, K-Seal is a great product. It has ceramic technology so it doesn't clog the pores inside the cooling system. So you can also make sure to keep a bottle of K-Seal in your trunk, because you can't find a technician or a repair shop on the middle of the road anywhere. So you put that in the trunk. It's just a part of your bag of tricks to keep your car running should you have a leak in the cooling system. Also, you can find K-Seal at all the automotive part stores like AutoZone nationwide. Go to AutoZone.com and check their store hours and order it online as well. Again, for more information, kseal.com. Let's go to California. A lot of California calls today. Cliff, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Glad to have you join us.
Oh, I'm from New Mexico, Bobby. I'm not from California.
Well, Millie just moved you. Millie's got you for California, so you don't know this, but when you wake up this evening, today, when you woke up today, you're now in California, according to Millie.
I know. I'm going, and I can't see either. I'm going, hey, where am I at? I got to ask somebody where I live.
So folks, this gentleman is a blind automotive technician. Blind automotive technician. He's been on ABC, NBC, Fox, and all those other ones. The only thing he hasn't done is we haven't met in person, but one of these days we're going to do that.
Yes, we are, because I did something special for this gentleman this week on my podcast. I paid a tribute to Bobby Likis, because we need to do that. That came on yesterday, and the show notes are excellent. And oh man, I was crying and I was doing this, and because Bobby means so much to me, that I had to do it on my podcast. There was just no. My wife said, "You got to do this." So,
how do we find
a tribute to Bobby?
Cliff, thank you so much. How do we find? I'd like to see that. How do we find your podcast?
Okay, you go on www.rev, R-E-V, it up, which is all together,
right?
podcast.com.
Okay, revitup.com.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I will do that.
They will, yes, because it is awesome, and we now are up into the 5-star rank into the podcast. One of our shows about the disability of America went up to 5 stars, which I was really happy the other day. And we are moving up the rank in our podcast. It's interesting that I just felt like I needed to do that, Bobby, for you, and honor you, and thank you for so much that you've done for all of us out there in radio land and auto land and everywhere else. Because we think the world of you, and I surely think the world of you as well. And so you've done such a well of a job in over 29 years and in 49 years of automotive. So I have learned so much from this gentleman through the years of the college and everything, and the things that he was saying I used in college, and that's how I made it through as well. So your information helped me out so much to get things done and do it right, and go back and recheck your stuff again when you're working on it. So it's awesome indeed, and I wanted to pay that tribute to you, your family. I even had a prayer at the end of my podcast for you and your family. We love you, we care about you, and you're like family to us. So we truly are thankful for what you do, Bobby, for all of us out there, and for everybody that's having car problems. You're the man, and I called you Dr. Bob on my podcast because you are the true doctor, and there's nobody that can replace you. Nobody. There's no replacement of Bobby Likis. You're one of a kind in our world today. I wanted to thank you so much.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate. Don't call me Bob. That's my daughters used to chase me around the pool with frogs, and they used to call me Bob when they wanted to get my goat, you know. And so you call me Bob. You're the only person I know that could ever get away with that. But you know what? You can call me anytime. Cliff, it is I who thank you for your loyalty, for your confidence in me, and also your accomplishments. I didn't do that. That's yours. That's yours. Just like someone that drives a car and the car said runs for forever. We had Diane had a note yesterday from a lady who had 550,000 miles on her vehicle, you know, and it was a great car. It was a great owner. That's the only way you get 500,000 miles or any decent life out of any mechanical device is you take care of it. So all that being said, it is I who appreciate you, and I wish you all the best on your podcast. And again, one more. That's revitup.com. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then you go to www. and people can hear it. It's awesome.
Okay.
I know there's one thing that I talked about, and Bobby, you've been so right on this through so many years, and they talk about it in automotive schools. Methanol and ethanol comes out much better than methanol. So
well, yes, two different sources.
Cleaner and Huh?
It's two different sources. Yeah. Hey, listen, man, got to go. But I appreciate you and I appreciate your call, and I look to meet you on the other side.
You got it, sir.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, let's come back to the East Coast and go all the way to the edge of the Atlantic, Daytona Beach. So on the line with us is Terry Savaston. Terry is a motorsports director for WNDB 1150 AM in Daytona. We started Car Clinic Network with 4 stations in 2 states, and one of those was WNDB in Daytona. And Terry, I don't know if you were with the station at that time, but welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Well, I was listening to the station. I wasn't part of it. I didn't become part of it till 2001, but I've been listening since you came on the air, Bobby. But I got an engine start problem I need to talk to you about.
Okay, great. Thought you'd never ask.
We've gotten the engines running. Okay, we got ignition. We got them to start like 3 times in the past week, but then it shuts down. And the first time happened on a Delta 4 Heavy, and the other 2 times happened on SpaceX. And we want to know, after you retire, you're going to come down here to the Cape and help them with their engine problems.
You know, that's very enticing. But I tell you what I'm going to do. One of the things we're going to do is the 15th or the 16th of July, which happens to be my birthday. We're gonna go on the Scarlet Lady, and we're going to go on a birthday bash. On the Branson birthday bash, because his birthday is the 18th. So I will be passing your neck of the woods along about that time, but I can't tell you where else I'm going to be. But I will tell you this: what a great run we've had on WNDB. I'll never forget, and I want to take this opportunity to personally and publicly thank Mark Bernier. And Mark Bernier is the talk show host in Ormond Beach and nationally as well. And he's the one, and Terry, you've heard this story, but for those of you who haven't, Mark happened to be program director when we called on our self-syndication our first several years, and Mark said, well, okay, I'll give you a try. And we've been on your station ever since, and so I want to thank Mark, and I want to thank all the folks there and the owners also of, is it Black Crow still?
Southern Stone Communications now.
Southern
Black
Stone.
Crow's dead.
Then that's six different owners of how many stations you have? How many stations?
We have 6 here in Daytona. We've got 24 across the southeast.
Okay. Well, you know, you little guys, we have to give you credit too, I guess. Terry, you're a gentleman and a scholar and a great friend, and I appreciate your call. As always, you're terrific on air.
Well, Bobby, I got to take the time. I'm not going to get the chance, but we've got flat track racing coming up Daytona National Speedway with motorcycles the 16th and 17th. And so they've got a dirt track outside Turn 1 there at Daytona National Speedway. So we've got some excitement going on there. And then we've got historic sports car racing. And maybe that's something you can come check out the first week of November right after the election. And then we got the turkey run coming up Thanksgiving. And I hear we're going to have some practice for the Rolex Series coming up in December. So I can't update that time, but there you go. There's what's going on at Daytona National Speedway over the next 2 months.
See, folks, you have to admire him because, see, he calls me, and here he is promoting all the activities that's going on. I'll tell you what, the France family loves you, there's no doubt. So mark your calendars, and for more information, you can always Google Daytona International Speedway. And again, Terry, thanks so much for your call, and stay healthy, stay well, and stay in touch.
Bobby, you are the utmost professional. You have taught me to be what I am on the radio by listening to you and working with you when we've done shows together here in Daytona and on the air. I want to thank you. You've made me better at what I do. And you are the best, and probably you are the most professional radio announcer I ever heard.
Wow. You take I don't know what to say, but thank you. That's really, I appreciate you, and I love you, guy, and I'll look forward. I'll see you for sure in the future.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thanks, Terry.
Have a great day.
You as well. Okay, so we have a short time left. I know that Barbara from Pennsylvania is on the air, but let's go to Greg, who is very patient. So, Greg, thank you so much for your patience. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. How may I help you?
Yeah, I'm looking to buy a late model Dodge Grand Caravan. I heard there was issues with the 3.6 liter with the variable valve timing. Do you have any comments on that?
Well, anytime you have issues with variable valve timing solenoids, then it has more to do with the cleanliness or lack of cleanliness to the oil, because it's nothing more than an electronic open and close shut valve. Granted, it has small orifices, but variable valve solenoids only control the flow of oil pressure to the cam sprocket and electronically. And so they don't really give a lot of problems, but if you use the wrong viscosity oil, they will give a problem. In fact, we had a customer come in, I don't know, a year ago that had just had his oil changed, and all of a sudden his car went south. And because the oil company said, oh, we didn't do anything. And they didn't, except they put the wrong viscosity oil, and the oil wouldn't flow through the orifice. So that's why you have to use, as I say, skinny oil. In fact, the skinnier zero and the new J6 oil spec is 0.16, and you're going to hear of 0.8 viscosity. But anyway, with regard to the engine, that particular engine, there were problems with camshaft wear, more so than, and that's an engine problem, more so than the variable valve timing solenoid that controls the sprocket on there. So I would say to you, how many miles on this car is used, and you're thinking about buying it, is that correct?
Yeah, around 40,000. I'm just asking in general before I even look at one of them.
General Motors would not be my choice of a used car.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Grand Caravan.
Toyota would be my choice of a used car. I mean,
yeah, can't go there.
Can't go there. Okay. Well, you got to do what you got to do. I would say this: regardless of what you buy, it's your choice. Have a set of an ASE service trained technician, a set of third eyes before you write the check. Take that car and have what's called a PPI, a pre-purchase vehicle inspection. Have that performed. And and this is so true, and what's so great about this is that even if you're going to take a trip, the old check your car in for a road trip, like, kicking the tires and checking the oil and filter, that's not what it's about. If you're going to take a road trip, folks, take your car into a shop. Have them perform a pre-purchase vehicle inspection, because the technician that checks that vehicle out for pre-purchase looks at more things than just a road trip, because that person thinks that you've never seen that car before versus having it serviced and you own it. So what I would say to you, Greg, your choice of what to buy, but make sure that you have a pre-purchase vehicle inspection performed before you sign the check. You got it?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
When I see these things used at the dealerships, I check the Carfax. They all seem to be in the rental market, like Avis or Hertz. Would you have concerns buying something that was used in the rental fleet?
Well, it wouldn't fit my cup of tea, but because there are so many options. Car Guru is where I found the smart car for a Diane smart car in Boston, and Auto Trader, Car Guru. There's so many options. And besides, a lot of those rental cars have been abused, they've been serviced, and they're plain Jane cars. So you could do better. When you buy a used car, you should always opt to get the used car that has the most options, because the cars that are loaded, that are ordered for individuals, have more options, and you don't have to pay for those options, maybe $1,000 for what was originally $10,000. And so I would I would steer away from a rental car, and I would look more to the market for an after, because there are so many cars. It's a buyer's market. Hey, Greg, thank you for your call. Appreciate it. We'll go now to Barbara in Pennsylvania. Barbara, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Hello, Bob. Hello, Bobby.
Hi.
Hello, Bobby. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes,
Hello,
I have
Bobby.
about a minute.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm out in the country. I just wanted to tell you thank you. I was absolutely crushed when I tuned in and you said you were retiring. You certainly deserve it. But I wanted to tell you I got my love of cars from my dad, who's been dead since 1991. I haven't got to hear your show since June, but you have been an absolute gem in my life. I had a problem with my Subaru with the air conditioner. I didn't even have to call in. You answered the question for somebody else, and you've helped me get that fixed. I will miss you more than you can ever know as a mentor, as a father figure, and I know that there's so many other people, especially women out there, who you have been just a resource to, and I want to wish you all the best in your and we'll be praying for you. So
Barbara,
thank you.
I thank you so much. We are out of time. Thank you, my sweetheart. That's what a lovely way to end the first hour. But another hour coming up of Bobby Likis. Likis, you'll love us.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Bobby Likis Car Clinic is a copyrighted presentation of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated and may not be reproduced or rebroadcast without the express written approval of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated.
Folks, your brakes are a critical part of vehicle safety, so it's important to use quality parts. Goodyear Brakes is licensed by Goodyear, one of the world's most trusted automotive brands. They feature a new line of premium quality brake bundles, including calipers, rotors, brake pads, and all the hardware for today's most popular vehicles. GoodyearBrakes.com is the place to go for everything, providing an easy-to-use system for ordering the parts needed, all based on your vehicle's VIN and license plate and your driving needs. GoodyearBrakes.com also offers expert advice and how-to videos for DIYers doing their own work. So whether you're an accomplished mechanic or do-it-yourselfer, you can tackle your brake replacement with confidence. The Goodyear Brakes product line was developed through decades of friction science experience, advanced engineering, and thorough laboratory and on-road testing. Their brake pads feature patented Vulcan braid shims technology designed to eliminate noise during operation. And Goodyear brake rotors and calipers both receive proprietary Antiox Max coating for maximum rust and corrosion protection. Learn more at GoodyearBrakes.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
If you're familiar with the Kulseford section of the newspaper, you probably understand this message quite well. You see, in the Kulseford section, everything gets abbreviated. Consonants, vowels, prepositional phrases, the very building blocks of our language are thrown right out the window. And that makes it difficult when you're trying to sell your car. You've got a limited amount of space to work with, and by the time you abbreviate the description of your car down to a couple of fragmented sentences, it sounds less like a car and more like a Bluck sedan with sniffed like new condition lemulls. No wonder more people are selling their cars through eBay Motors. They can post unlimited text and photo descriptions, and with a nationwide marketplace, they're likely to sell it for more. Plus, both parties can be covered by eBay's Vehicle Protection Program. Buyers are happy, sellers are happy, and no one's abbreviating. eBay Motors, a better way to sell your car.
Touch. Testing. I think this should be. See. So bring up on the cord there. I can't hear the show playing. Why is that? Oh, I'm not plugged in.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour.
Turn it down. Slider. Testing 1, 2. Okay. All right.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour.
Test mic 3. There you go. Okay. So I'm on 1.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 3-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 1-minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 30-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 10-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. If you have a car question for Bobby, call now at 1-800-264-5454, toll free from anywhere in America. And now, here's your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome to this hour of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Folks, it's going to be a terrific program, and I'm just love it that you have. And I've got feedback here, so if you would pull it down. Okay. On his mic, just pull that mic down on one. There you go. Very, very good. So I have a guest in the house, and I'll introduce you to him soon. Anyway, it's next to our last broadcast. Next week is our final broadcast, Bobby Likis Car Clinic. I'd love for you to call in. I'd love to hear a car story from you, or if you have a challenge with your automobile, I'm your man. 888 Car Clinic, and Millie will take your call, put you in the queue. 888-227-2546. And, of course, I'll do my best to answer your question. I have a gentleman that I met this morning for the first time, and I thought it would be kind of cool to have someone else to share the mic with me, at least for this segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic, brought to you in part by autobatteries.com. Autobatteries.com, powered by Clarios. Autobatteries.com features a wealth of information on vehicle batteries, from new technology to jump starting to charging, you name it. You can find it there with regard to your battery, and no pun intended, everything starts with your battery. And another point, Clarios, 1 in every 3 batteries in every car in the world is a Clarios. I bet you didn't know that. A lot of things, but your calls are so important. 888-227-2546 when we come back. Today's vehicles face challenging conditions. With more than 150 accessories for safety and comfort, such as backup cameras and entertainment systems, they're like second homes. Clarios is the world's largest producer of automotive AGM batteries that are precision engineered to be reliable, durable, and safely meet these challenging needs. AGM batteries have up to 2 times the life of traditional batteries and are non-spillable. The next time you need a battery, ask for an AGM battery to meet today's driving and electrical demands. Visit autobatteries.com. That's autobatteries.com.
O'Reilly. When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You've heard me talk about Motorrad's leading the way with automotive thermostats, fuel, oil, and coolant caps. Now, Motorrad's using their expertise and Tier 1 OEM facilities to deliver advanced engine management solutions. Products like camshaft and crankshaft sensors, ignition coils, mass airflow sensors, even variable valve timing solenoids. And Motorrad's aftermarket products are designed and manufactured to meet or exceed original equipment specifications. Learn more about Motorrad products and industry-leading application coverage at Motorrad.com.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Another lending success story from LendingTree.com.
Car dealers like playing games. They play percentage points, they play markups, but I don't like playing with my money. So I got my auto loan through LendingTree.com. I filled out one simple form, a marketplace of banks and lenders competed over it, and I got 4 offers back within hours. After all, the car buying game is a lot easier to win when you're holding all the cards.
LendingTree.com. When banks compete, you win. For additional information and state license disclosures, please visit our website located at LendingTree.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextsstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
Okay, folks, let's get started with this hour of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Again, I want to thank you for 29 years of fantastic interaction that I've enjoyed. A privilege to come to you. Millie will take your calls at 888 Car Clinic. That's 888-227-2546, and I will put you on the air. It's interesting to say that after all these years, if you heard the first hour, people would call in and say, Bobby, you're done a great job, and we thank you, and all those sorts of things. But it is I who have learned, without exception, every Saturday. I mean, I'm the car guru, right? Right. But I learn from you every Saturday. And I'll tell a quick story. I was at a home builders event with my best friend, whom I lost a couple of years ago, and a gentleman walked up to me and said, Bobby, I heard you on the air. You gave the best answer I've ever heard. And I thought this is going to be fantastic. This is going to be, what kind of words of wisdom did I say? And I said, what was it? He said, someone asked you about a vehicle, and you said, I don't know. I said, yeah, but what was the question? Oh, he said, it was what you said. You said, I didn't know. I said, well, I didn't know. He said, yeah, but you said that on air. And I thought about that. It took a minute for it to sink in. And I didn't know. Of course, I found out later on. And I never forget what it was. It was, where's the fuel filter on a Camaro, a specific car, and it was located over the axle housing in the back of the car. But I didn't know at the time. And so here I was expecting it to be some E equals MC squared type of a question. Wasn't that at all. Okay, so again, invite you to call. We have some 50 minutes left that we can share together. I just appreciate your confidence. I want to welcome to our center of the automotive universe, our stage here, our studio, Radford Cox, R-A-D-F-O-R-D, Radford Cox, whom I've never met until this morning, but we just already have a connection. So, Radford, a little closer to the mic there. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Thank you very much, Bobby. It's a pleasure being here, sir.
Okay, so what I'd like to do so that folks would know why I invited you in, where do you live?
I live in the country, Bahrain, in the Middle East. It's a small nation off the coast of Saudi Arabia.
And a quick 30,000-foot view, how did that come about?
Yeah, so I retired. Military took me to Bahrain. I took my family out there. I finally retired in 2016 from the Army, but I stayed there to keep. I started a company called Cox Logistics, and it's a company that does in-destination logistics services for the government. And I also started Big Texas Barbecue out there, and we serve barbecue to the 10,000 U.S. forces that are families and forces that are stationed there.
How many employees? How do you service 10,000?
Yeah, so we have a restaurant that has 64 employees called Big Texas Barbecue, and we've been serving great barbecue and cold beer to soldiers for the last 5 years. It's been great.
That is, and did you have prior restaurant business or interest or experience other than just going to eat?
No, sir. We were just in. I was just military. I'm from Alabama, so I'm not too smart, to be honest. But we got there and realized there was no good barbecue on the island. And my wife said, "What are you going to do when you retire?" And I said, "Well, we were in 32 years." And I said, well, I don't know. I said, I guess the only thing I can do is go back to Alabama or stay here and cook barbecue. I said, let's do that. And so that's how we started the restaurant, and it was highly successful. And I'd like to mention we have a charity called Soup for the Soul program where we've served, when COVID hit, we've served over 20,000 free bowls of soup to the needy and the people that are out there in the country of Bahrain. So it's been God-given, and it's been great.
Well, you made it great, and just for you to know, ex-friend, I'm from Alabama as well.
Oh, there you go. All right. Okay.
So when you
know the Alabama education system, Bobby, we're not the smartest people in the world.
Well,
but we're down to earth.
We are down to earth, and I'll tell you something. It's not what you know; it's if you know what you don't know, and there's where the real challenge comes in. But we won't get into that. We've got a lot of calls. If you would, I'd love for you to stay with me in the studio.
Yes, sir.
Don't go away. And folks, he is mic'd up, so Radford can hear everything and hear your questions. So there's a general question. Let's take a call from John. John's called in from our state. That's the first call we've had second from Florida. John, good morning. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Glad to have you join us.
Well, thank you. I want to make sure to let you know I'm an avid listener of your show, and I got a weird and unusual question. You have a standard car, you have a tachometer,
right? And
I can understand, check your RPMs. What's the purpose of a tachometer on an automatic car?
Owner gratification and visuals and. So the purpose of any tachometer, well, the car has its own built-in tachometer, whether it has one for demonstrative purposes or not. But a tachometer is what drivers like. So way back, before Americans really got into cars, for instance, let's take the first Corvette. The first Corvette had a tachometer because no cars had tachometers. Now, it was a mechanically driven worm gear off the distributor. and gave a lot of problems.
Right.
But nonetheless, it was because my car got a tach. I'm a driver, so it's for driver creature comfort. I mean, I guess, but you know, I watch my tach all the time. In fact, I use my paddle shifters. Same thing with paddle shifters. You don't need paddle shifters, but it sure is fun to be able to downshift when you want to. Driver control, driver demand. It's your car, just like we personalize car. My car's got tons of personalization on it. My wife's smart car has I just like so many things on it. So it's just for owners. You know, that's the first question I ever had like that. But does your car have a tach?
Well, mine doesn't, but my mother's does. And, you know, it's like, you know, I'm looking at it as, you know, I can't go in there and I can't change the RPMs on the car, you know, unless I'm, you know, take it to a mechanic and they can say, well, it's too low, let's raise it up, put it down. But shifting doesn't make any difference. It does it all on its own. You know, I guess with the paddles, because it has paddles, maybe that would make a difference.
Well, believe it or not.
You've got a Buick Enclave.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, think about this, and I'll try to be clear. The blink your eye. Everybody blink your eye. That's 0.2 of a second. That's 200 milliseconds. A fuel injector nozzle is open 3 milliseconds. Now, the blink of an eye is 200. A fuel injector is open 3 milliseconds. So when you look at your instant readout of MPG or your average MPG on your typical car today, there is no fuel gauge. There's no. How that works is the computer counts how many hundred thousands of times in 0.6 of a mile the engine has opened the injectors. 3 milliseconds, and if you step on the accelerator, then they increase to 4, 5, or 6 milliseconds. So if you're open 15,000 times 3 milliseconds on a 40,000 port with 40 psi of pressure, I mean, let me break this down. If you turn your water spigot on to wash your car, depending on the pressure of the city water, you can fill a gallon of a bucket in a minute, or 5 gallons in whatever. That's the orifice size, the pressure size. The computer counts all that. And then it collates all that and says, okay, at this particular, that's why you can take a car, and Carl Edwards, NASCAR driver, did this when Ford came out with the Ford Focus, because every car now has fuel cut. Now, fuel cut means that if you back off the accelerator, your foot's off the accelerator, and you're coasting with the wheels driving the engine, and the engine's above 1,500 RPM, zero fuel is being used, and that's why you can make a fuel average instantaneous readout read 99 miles per gallon, and you can affect the overall gas. I can take any car and increase the MPG in town 40% over any car. Now, the guy behind me won't like it because I do a lot of coasting. You know, it's called hyper-miling. You don't want to do that, but it's all very interesting. It's all part of the computers that run our cars today. You got it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Hey, thanks for your call, John.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Bobby.
Take care. Okay, we have a gentleman from Kearney, Nebraska, Jerry, and it says right here, Millie says, wants to speak with you. So, Jerry, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Here I am.
Hey, Bobby. Bobby, all I wanted to do was say I appreciated your show for all these years, and I want to wish you a happy retirement.
Well, you are the man. So folks, let me share this with you. I go to Kearney to do a convention with Kappa, which is a huge fuel plant there, and so we have these people. We're on the podium and we do this convention and yada yada. And at the end of the day, I'm invited by the Central Nebraska Car Club by this Jerry Erickson. I remember Jerry Erickson, and that happens to be your last name. Would I be right?
It does.
And you and your wife picked me up in a '64 Chevrolet, I think, and took me to your house at 11 o'clock at night and fed me, and I'd already eaten all day, and showed me all your cars. And so in Kearney, Nebraska, one of my KGFW is our affiliate there. I love all you guys, and it's been a great run. And Jerry, got a heartbreak coming up, but I thank you for your call, man. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome, man. You have good luck in whatever your endeavors are, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. We'll see you on the other side. And folks, I'll see you on the other side. Don't touch that dial, because Rayford and I will be back. Electrical demands in today's vehicles include things like start-stop technology and backup cameras. Fantastic features, but they can put a strain on your battery. AGM or absorbent glass mat batteries are up to the challenge. Precision engineered to offer the ultimate combination of power, durability, and reliability. What affects battery performance? Harsh climates, frequent stopping, and aggressive driving all affect battery performance. With its compressed cell design and glass mat separators, AGM batteries are built to excel in these types of conditions. Learn more AGM advantages from Clarios at autobatteries.com. That's autobatteries.com. Cooling system repairs. We've all needed them. But what happens when the local mechanic of your garage is miles away? Situations like this were made for K-Seal, a pour-in solution that helps stop cooling system leaks. Older sealers use sodium silicate, which can clog the system. K-Seal features ceramic technology designed to repair the leak without clogging. Tough times create the need to be prepared. Make K-Seal part of your emergency road kit. K-Seal is available nationwide at stores like Walmart. Check walmart.com for store hours and shipping options, or go to kseal.com. With 48 years experience in automotive repair, our service team knows what dirty gasoline does inside an engine. Over time and miles, fuel residue and hot oil vapors create nasty, hardened clusters of carbon that block airflow into cylinders, collect on valves, and build up inside combustion chambers, causing hard starting, rough idle, sluggish engine performance, and bad gas mileage. Solution? Berryman B60 High Mileage Fuel System Rejuvenator. B60 cleans the entire fuel system of all high-mileage gas-powered vehicles with powerful detergents and HEST solvents. That's high-energy solvent technology at work. B60 gives you one-tank cleanup of fuel injectors, intake valves, and combustion chambers. Restore lost power, reduce rough idle, improve fuel economy, and enjoy your drive again. Berryman B60 High-Mileage Fuel System Rejuvenator is the only fuel system cleaner with HEST solvents. Pick up a can at your local auto parts store today. For more, visit BerrymanProducts.com. That's BerrymanProducts.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Telephone tip
from Geico Auto Insurance. When calling Geico to switch your car insurance, you will not need acetaminophen, naproxen, indomethacin, ibuprofen, a cold compress, an on-call acupuncturist, or any other pain remedy. In 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more. If it were any more painless, you could do it in your sleep, which is theoretically possible since we offer complete 24-hour service. Call 1-800-947-AUTO, 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
When you purchase the latest TV, tablet, or smartphone, don't forget to do the right thing with your old ones. Recycle them. The Consumer Technology Association and its members are making recycling your old devices as easy as buying new ones. Just go to greenergadgets.org, type in your zip code, and you'll instantly find the recycling location closest to your home. You'll also find recycling tips, like asking the store where you buy your new TV if they'll haul away your old one. Don't let your old tech tools clog your local landfill. Just visit greenergadgets.org.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to this segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. So much to say and no time to say it, so let's move on. Again, I want to welcome into the studio with me my newfound friend, Radford, not Rayford. Although he's from Alabama, so I can call him whatever.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. There you go. Well, he's not all bad, is he? So, that depends. Radford Cox, who lives in Bahrain. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's correct.
And spell Bahrain.
Bahrain.
Well, that's the way it
sounds.
sounds.
It's its own nation. It's its own nation.
Well, very, very interesting. And so you're in the food business there.
Food business there and the defense contracting business. So for these great Americans out here, the reason why Bahrain is so important, it is the home of 5th Fleet Headquarters for the Navy. So NAVCENT 5th Fleet Headquarters, the 3-star commander that runs all of NAVCENT, lives and eats and sleeps in Bahrain. And that's who we service. There's 29 American vessels stationed in the country of Bahrain.
Well, that is very interesting because in Pensacola, which is where we are today, the center of the automotive universe in our studio, is a naval air station. And every flyer, every pilot goes through NAS training. In fact, Naval Air Station has the second largest naval aviation museum in the world. And it's one of your go-tos if you haven't seen that. Let's go to our callers. And so, again, folks, if you have a question about Bahrain, you can ask Radford, and he can share that because you live there now, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Let's go first to Mark Sawyer. Mark, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
what in the wide, wide world, crazy world, 2020, we're going to do on Saturdays without the gold standard voice of Bobby Likis on the radio?
Well, if I knew that, then I could honestly say that I knew everything, but I don't know that, and I do know everything, but I don't know that. I don't know that. So, Mark, how are you? How have you been? It's been years since we've spoken.
It has been. Well, a couple of years. John Thielen, the late John Thielen, and I came by and visited you in that gold standard, state-of-the-art studio you have there in the heart of Pensacola, the Car Clinic Radio headquarters, and just a beautiful facility. And you have always had the best 2-hour live show every Saturday, and it's just not going to be the same without you. I don't know how we're going to feel normal on Saturday mornings anymore once you're gone.
Well, I guess it's going to be the new norm. Mark, I really appreciate your call, and I will tell you, of all of the individuals, and of course, the late John Thielen was my mentor. He on his kitchen table wired some 150 coax cables that are currently in use right now. I mean, he, as you know, he taught broadcasting at the college, and was just a fine gentleman. So here, let's dedicate this program, you and Mark, you and I, to John Thielen and all the folks on the Gulf Coast that knew him. And I also want to thank you. You're an asset to the industry yourself, and you've run the board and you've run stations, and so hats off to you as well, my friend.
Well, it was fun to be able to have the honor of being in the studio there with you and give you some hand signals and just watch the magic of what you do on the radio. Of course, you remember, you've known so many radio people in Pensacola, Luke McCoy and Don Priest and John Richardson. And, of course, Don Parker ran your show for many years, and it's just, you've been with us through so many hurricanes, and the normalcy of having you on the radio just made a big difference in people coming back to their normal lives again after a hurricane. So it's just been, to hear your voice on the radio was a calm thing to hear, and your enthusiasm and the way you light up the dial. And most importantly, I guess, of all, is the thousands of callers that you've had over the last 3 decades. And such an amazing, helpful person with advice for whatever their problem was. And you've just done such a super job of making it a personal communication between your callers, and you really just made everybody feel like a friend. So just thank you so much for all you've done for the Northwest Florida area. And I have had a chance to, I don't know if a lot of our Car Clinic listeners know about your 90-second radio feature, which is really one of the greatest short-form radio features I've ever heard in my career in radio. And I brought it to Auburn, Alabama, and then we had you on the Milton radio station. And in the last 3 years, I've had you on the air 6 times a day over at the ESPN station in Panama City Beach. And it's just such an informative 90 seconds of just tip-top information and things that people can do to keep their car running. You're such a master of car knowledge, so it's just been so good to have known you all these years and listen to that voice and go, I know that guy's voice, and I've met him in person.
Mark, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again. I'm retiring. I'm not passing. Okay. All right, my friend. Thank you for your call.
I mean, just one more thing to say. It's an unforgettable logo, and I wish the best for you and Diane and all your children. And I can safely say that Bobby Likis, we love you.
Thank you. Love you too, Mark. Thank you, my friend. Okay, now what we're going to do is shift gears here. We're going to go to the state of Washington, and I see that Blaine is there from Nebraska to talk about drag racing. That's where I'd really like to go, but in the queue here, I'm taking folks as they come today. So we're going to go to Washington, and I'll try to keep our calls shorter. Victor, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Thank you, Bobby. I just put a hydraulic valve lifter in a 302 V8 1970 F100 Ford pickup, and I made a guess on the valve lash. Took it down to just where I hit, my fingers hit tight, and then took it up. I think it was about another quarter or a half a turn, and then but it loosened up after motor ran real good. But then after a while, it loosened up, and how do you do that?
Well, you were right about the static, but what you probably did not do is you didn't pre-load the lifter, and you have to take the lifter and put the lifter that has no oil other than assembly lube in it. So the cushion of and the very hydraulicing of the lifter means you have to have oil. That's why when you run an engine low of oil, the lifters start to clatter first because they're the last thing to get oil. They're top of the engine. So what you should have done, you were right on, except what you should have done is put the lifter in some kind of a little cylindrical cup that's filled with oil, and then pushed.
I did that. I did. I put it in oil for a little while, maybe not long enough.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't finish. You have to depress the top part of the lifter to force the check valve to open and close. And if you had a lifter pre-luber, then you would see that every time you press on the female part of the lifter where the pushrod goes, little bubbles would come out, and then until finally with no bubbles. But it takes about a good 50 to 75 pounds of pressure, up to 100, to really force that lifter down so that the lifter gets filled with oil. Now it's as though it's a solid lifter, so that you can put it together and do your intro where you take the slack up and then go plus a quarter. You just didn't have it filled, so you had a fake or an inaccurate starting basis. Take the valve cover back off with the engine running, which you lose a little oil, and adjust the lifter until the noise goes away, back off, pull it back down, and go from there, and that'll solve your problem. You got it?
Yeah. Now, the oil really was kind of spurting out of there.
Yeah, it's got to do that.
It makes a mess.
Yeah, I know. But hey, what else you got to do? You got to, you maybe you could do this. Maybe you could just make sure that the cam lobe is on the base circle, which is the backside of the cam lobe. And that you should have zero clearance, and back off your rocker, and then put zero clearance, and then go down and give it a 3/4 of a turn. No more than 3/4, a half to 3/4 of a turn, and then put the cover back on, crank it up, and try it there. Hey, thanks for your call.
I did that, and I ran it for about an hour yesterday, but I think I hear a little click again. I just could pick up a little click.
Well, let me say this. It's odd to replace one lifter in a car. So you may have other lifters. Here's what I recommend you do. Go to Napa Auto Care, or Auto Parts, buy a mechanic's stethoscope, just like a doctor's stethoscope. And those things like that, it magnifies the stethoscope magnifies the sound, and you can touch the valve cover strategically until you hear specifically where that click is coming from. In other words, click, 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 just like the Doppler effect. You got it? And then you'll know it may be something that's not even connected to what you've done. And that's what I would do for you. Hey, thanks for your call, Victor. We'll take another call. Let's go back to New York. And then we'll go to New York. Carol from New York. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic, Miss Carol.
Oh, my God, Bobby. I just, I got to find a reason to call you next week, too. But I'm going to just say one thing. The person says, what are we going to do on Saturday? You know what I'm going to be able to do on Saturdays now?
What?
Run my bank errands and go to places that close at noon. Because I do not leave the house. And sometimes they're open between 9 and 10, but no, I got too many other household duties to do before that, so I just hang in and say, okay, I'll do my banking on Monday.
Well, you're a treat, and folks, just for all of you to know, this is the only lady I know, the only woman I know, only man I know, only person I know, is the way to put it, who ordered a standard transmission Subaru, and the dealer says, what? And it wouldn't surprise me, Miss Carol, if the dealership didn't even know they made a standard transmission Subaru, and yet you ordered one. So anyway, I got a heartbreak coming up, and I really...
Can I just say one more thing?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to miss your analogies and sound effects terribly.
Well, you have a good memory, and that's what counts. So I thank you for your call. We love you, and all the folks there in Binghamton. That's been a great area for us, and you know that my experience there when I brought my race car up there to some off the wall. Why I did that, I do not know, but that was Shangri-La oval track that we brought that car up there and ran. I was never treated like royalty except there in New York, and I thought of the city. I thought, oh, this is going to be strange. It wasn't strange at all. Strangely enough, so friendly, so inviting, and so helpful. All the racers that I met, and at the hotel at night, sitting around, having a beverage and talking about whose faster car, and the next day you go out and find out yours wasn't as fast as you thought it was. Miss Carol, thank you. Love you. Appreciate your call. Folks, another call coming up. Tom and Misty Likis and Blaine. So, you just can't touch the dial. I'm Bobby Likis, your host. I'll be back. This Pro project is brought to you by Blaster and their new Pro Straw, featuring control flow technology. Folks, wheel alignment's an important part of vehicle maintenance. Proper alignment provides better handling and also extends tire life. But in some areas of the country, roads suffer from harsh winter climate, and salt damage is tough on steering linkages and suspension components, causing rust. Rust never sleeps, and it becomes evident when you try to make adjustments to tie rods or even caster and camber components. But there's a solution. PB Blaster Penetrant and its new Pro Straw, featuring control flow technology. When aligning the front end, be sure to apply Blaster using the convenient Pro Straw to tie rod adjusters and any fasteners that allow alignment changes. Blaster will make them easier to loosen and move. And using Blaster's new Pro Straw provides the ability to apply penetrant only where needed, ultimately making the job cleaner and more efficient. PB Blaster is available at home, auto, or hardware stores near you. Work it like a pro with Blaster products. For more information, go to blastercorp.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
More than 1 million wild animals are killed each year illegally. Poaching is a major threat to our country's wildlife. I'm Tom Barry. I'm an actor with a desire to preserve living space for wildlife. The Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust does just that. Works with private landowners to protect wildlife, to preserve natural habitats. To learn more or to work with the Humane Society Wildlife Land Trust, call 800-729-SAVE. That's 800-729-SAVE, or visit wildlifelandtrust.org. Thank you.
Did you know 26 million Americans have kidney disease and most don't know it?
The day I was diagnosed, I didn't know what to do. I called the National Kidney Foundation, and the young lady who answered stayed on the phone with me and walked me through step by step. She too was surviving kidney disease, and she showed me there could be life after kidney disease.
Visit the National Kidney Foundation at kidney.org. Now you know.
We're a land of cynics. We don't believe anything anymore. You know why? Because we've been told we've won $1 million, that it's new and improved, that it slices and dices, that our favorite singer is still alive, that we'll be prosecuted if we cut off the tags, and of course that everything is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So when we hear the words customer service, we don't believe it. Travelocity isn't surprised if you're a little skeptical when they say they have excellent customer service, and that there's actually a pleasant face behind this website, a living, breathing person with a supercharged computer full of answers. Someone who's willing to help when you get lost, and most of all, someone that will actually pick up the phone when you call with a question or a concern. Customer service is just another example of how Travelocity puts you in control of travel. Chances are you'll never have to use it, but it's good to know it'll be there if you need it. Travelocity.com. Go virtually anywhere.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to this segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. This will be our last segment of the next to the last Bobby Likis Car Clinic broadcast. And Radford Cox is my guest, and a newfound friend, and just a gentleman with a lot of experience, both in the military and also to feed 10,000 folks. He knows what he's doing in a lot of different arenas. Having said that, I want to welcome a special guest. I know that Tom and Jason and Blaine, you're all in the queue, but this person I'm going to put on the air now, and her last name is Likis. Her first name is Misty, and her middle name is Ann. Misty, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic, sweetheart.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning.
And good morning, Rad. I have to say is roll tide, baby.
Roll tide,
That's all we have in our house.
She lives in O'Fallon, Missouri, in St. Louis.
There you go.
So she's got this roll tide, you know.
Well, you had fun this last weekend against Missouri, for sure.
Yeah. Well, anyways, moving on. Yeah.
So what's up?
Yes. Nothing. I just really wanted to call and just tell you how proud I am. And, you know, speaking of Roll Tide, growing up, it was always in our house with my sister and I, it was God, Bear Bryant, and then you. So, and it truly was. And I say that to this day. You really have been a pillar of the community in so many ways, in more ways than I know I have the amount of time that I've been given to talk, because like you, I do have the gift of gab. So, but truly, Dad, your dedication to, so many things, March of Dimes, hospice, the city of Pensacola, everything. It's just unmatchable. And listening to all the callers call in and say the same thing just really makes my heart just swell, thinking of all these years, everything that you've done for the community, for us as a family, for everybody. And, you know, your dedication, that true grit and honest work ethic, that's something that you taught Kim and I from the beginning. And I carry that with me today in everything that I do with my work. And I know that's helped me in my line of business and just getting me through life in general. And along the way, I might have picked up a few car tips, you know, like where oil goes. Apparently you don't pull the dipstick out and use the funnel and try to put the oil in that way whenever your oil light comes on. Back then, we didn't have Google, so I was looking around the engine, and I was like, oh, well, okay, well, I know this is where they pull it out to make sure the oil is and level, but, you know, like I say in my classes, if no one tells you, how are you supposed to know? So sometimes you learn the hard way. I didn't burn up the motor, though.
Well, you're so great. Thanks for sharing those memories. I will say that I love you, as you know, and I appreciate you, and I'm proud of everything that you've done. And I had a caller the first hour who called and asked how your operation went. So, folks, this person spent 5 hours on the operating table this week, so you really sound great to me. And I love you, and I thank you for your call, and we'll talk later.
Sounds good. Oh, and Dad, by the way, I know the gentleman mentioned, what are you going to do with that sign behind you? I'll take the sign in lieu of you selling my beloved Porsche. But
okay.
You have a great rest of the morning. Radford, take care.
Thanks
you, for joining my father, and love you, Dad.
That's a great testimony.
Yeah, thank you, sweetheart. Love you.
Thanks. Okay.
That's pretty cool. That is really 5 hours on the table. She's a trooper. Let's go to there's Tom and Jason. Let's take Jason's call, and then Tom, we're coming to you, and Blaine and Kearney or North Platte. I'll come to you after, but let's go first to Jason. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Good morning, sir.
Thank you, Bobby. How you doing?
Well, if you're listening, you know, I couldn't tell you, I couldn't be any better. I really couldn't be any better, you know. Sally may have been a hurricane, but she couldn't compare to what's going on in the studio this morning. That's a fact. Thanks for asking.
I bet. Well, I just wanted to say I've known you for years. I've been a customer of your shop for years. I've worked with you for numerous years. You've left a mark on this community, especially me. I've learned so much just from watching how you ran your shop, how you you guided your employees, tried to make them strive to be better than they were. It's amazing. I had words and then I lost them.
Well, that says a mouthful right there. You know, sometimes it's what you don't say that means so much. So I hear what you didn't say, and I heard what you did say, and I love you for that. And folks, this gentleman is the IT. If the school district that your children go to, he keeps them in line. And whenever there's an IT problem, this is the man. And whenever we have, and that's how we first met. But it soon went from ones and O's to hearts and hugs and kisses. I'm telling you, it really didn't. You know, and we've done business together for years. But let me say this, Jason, what you and your lovely wife Shannon, who is also a trooper, what you brought to me and the help you brought to everybody, including Miss Diane. Over the years, take our call regardless of whatever it is, with no regard to what it costs or what have you, your time. So it is I who should be thanking you, and I am, and I thank you, and I thank you for your call.
Thank you very much, Bobby. It's not going to be the same without you on the air.
Well, I don't know what. Well, we'll have to worry about that another day. But thank you, Jason. I appreciate your words.
You have a good day, sir.
I am. Thank you very much. You as well. Let's go now to Blaine in Nebraska. Blaine, you're very patient. I thank you. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Yeah, hello. My wife says you are always a gentleman.
Well, what did she say about you? Next.
Yes, and I would like to report. In 2 weeks, I will be 92 years old, so I'll try to get through this.
Wow. Well, you won't try. You're not trying anything. There's one word that we don't allow in our companies, and that's try. And if you and I jumped out of an airplane together, and you're going to pull the chute, and you say, "Boy, I'll try," you and I are not going to jump out of the same airplane because I'm going to pull my chute. But anyway, Blaine, I thank you so much. And due to the time constraints, what can I do for you?
Well, a few years ago, I was able to attend the drag races in Topeka, and so the car sits there and he burns his tires, but the car doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
And then when the run starts, he shoots out of there in about 3 car lengths. He's going 100 miles an hour, and he doesn't smoke. So I would like some comment on how that works.
Okay, that's called a burnout. And what they do is they use water because they use a really soft rubber on the tire. They run about 4 psi of pressure. They actually have to take sheet metal screws and screw through the wheel into the bead to keep the rubber from turning on the rim. And they smoke the tire to get it soft and gooey and get a track down. And then they back up, and then they use a slipping clutch. And so they use a clutch that uses some centrifugal weights to couple up, and so that there only is probably in a 2,000-pound car you'd need a 5,000-pound clutch. The spring-wise, they probably use a 400-pound spring, so that when they come to 8,000 RPM and dump the clutch, the clutch does it slides and the tires don't. Now, that's not true if you give the tires no friction. It's all about friction coefficient. And the coefficient of friction with water is a no-brainer. But once you get the tire hot up to, say, 200 degrees, like NASCAR run 200 degrees, that's why they use nitrogen only for the racers, so it doesn't change the temperature of the change, doesn't change the air pressure. So they smoke the tires to get them hot, and then they back up in the same track, and they launch the car. And the trick is, not horsepower, like top fuelers, the trick is applying as much horsepower to the ground to move the car as fast as you can without breaking the traction loose, but just being on the verge all the way down, and that's why those cars are so fast. Hey, Blaine, thank you for your call. It's a great question, and I wish I had more time because I love that sport. I was there for a long time. Thank you so much for your call. Where do you live, by the way?
Oh, in west of North Platte, Nebraska.
So that would be KOD. That would be KODY. KODY is a fantastic station, and the first caller that I ever got from KODY, and the gentleman called, and I knew it was from KODY. I said, "Yeah, I'm from California." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, I'm driving past North Platte, and the station was about 5 miles or 10 miles from the interstate." I got more calls from people from North Platte that were from other parts of the country because they were driving in their cars and picked me up. Blaine, thank you so much for your call, and happy. When is your birthday, sir?
2 weeks away, 17th.
No, October 17th?
Yes.
Well, that is the Saturday after my final broadcast. I will tip a glass to you and toast to you at 93 years old. Blaine, thank you so much for your call.
Thank you.
And let's go to Tom in New York. Tom, thank you for patience. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Hi, how are you doing?
Great.
Thank you for all your years of service. It's an awesome show.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, my question is, I have a 2005 Dodge Ram. Only got 116,000 miles on it. It's got a slight leak in the heater core. I know it's kind of an expensive repair. Is there any kind of something you could dump in to fix that situation, or I've heard people say there is, and people say there ain't.
Well, anytime somebody tells you something, ask them, where do you get your information? That's I've learned that all my life. Let me say this: there are many that the category you're talking about is called pour and pray. And a guru in the automotive aftermarket chemical business, and I used to joke. I said, what's a pour and pray? He said, that's when a car owner has a problem and goes to a parts store and buys a can of something and pours it in a tank and prays it fixes the car. In your case, I have a great pour and pray for you, because it does work, and it's called K-Seal, and they are the only stop leak that is recognized by NTSC, which is a sanctioning company organization, and they use ceramic particle technology, so there's no clogging. And you can buy it at O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's called K-Seal, and that's what I recommend. Follow the directions on the label. I know you're a man, so that may be hard to do, but do it anyway, okay?
That's right, I got it.
All right.
K-Seal.
Thank you. Take care. Well, that was an easy one. Okay, let's get back to our last few minutes. So, Radford, come up to your mic there. And again, this gentleman, folks, most interesting. I'd like to turn the mic to you now. And for those who are not familiar with Bahrain, give us a little information about the culture there. And this gentleman is Radford Cox, who feeds 10,000 soldiers and has a Texas barbecue, Waffle House, as I understand.
That's right.
Are you familiar with Bert Thornton?
I'm not, sir.
You familiar with Bert's Chili?
Yes, sir.
That's
okay.
Bert Thornton. He's a friend of ours. He lives here.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I can tell you stories about him, but I don't have time.
It's great chili.
So share with our Car Clinic listeners in a couple of minutes here a little information about yourself and about your organizations and your companies.
Sure. So, like I said, Bahrain is the home of Fifth Fleet headquarters. It's a small island nation in the Persian Gulf. It's 26 miles long. It's 5 miles wide. There's only two ways to get to the country. One is by the causeway from Saudi Arabia, driving in. 93% of all of our tourists come across the causeway, so a lot of Saudi Arabians come there. And then, of course, international flights 1 hour from Dubai that get you anywhere in the world. So that's what Bahrain. Bahrain is a Muslim country. It's a monarchy. It has a kingdom. It is called a kingdom. But for us, it's just about making sure that the American citizens that live out there, that work for the State Department and the military, are fed good barbecue, and that's what we try to do: feed them good barbecue.
So, having said all that, I'd love to know the secret to your sauce.
Yeah, that's right, and we'll get to that off this radio.
Off
station.
this radio. Oh, you're no fun.
We don't give the true secrets away.
See,
but vinegar is a key ingredient for us.
Now
we're vinegar based.
My father, who was Greek, had barbecue places in Birmingham, Alabama, and I know for a fact vinegar, because that was one of his favorite add-ons, is vinegar and lemon.
And lemon as well. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting. So between you and your knowledge about barbecue and barbecue sauce, and Captain Jim and the Chili International judge, hey, I'll tell you folks what I'm going to be doing after radio. I want to be eating. And some of it will be barbecue, maybe.
Well, we're going to let you come out and be a judge of our barbecue contest in Bahrain. How about that?
That's great. So what's the culture like in Bahrain?
Yeah, so it's culturally, it's like I said, it's a Muslim nation, so they do mix their religion and their politics. But Bahrain is a very westernized country, very much like UAE, and it's very American friendly. It's got more of a Western culture than most of those places do over there, and it's just a wonderful place to live. And we want to come home. We're in our last legs though, Bobby. We're coming home soon. My wife is wanting to come home back to the States.
Where is she from, Rick?
She's from Pensacola, right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So her father's a retired Master Chief in the Navy, retired from Pensacola Naval Air Station, is based here, and so I think our goal over the next 1 to 2 years is to come back home.
Well, I want to thank you for visiting us today, and great to meet you. And I wish you all the success and health going forward. And again, thanks for joining us today on Bobby Likis.
Well, I love one quick thing.
Okay.
I love that Diane. I asked her how y'all met, and I love the story she told. And if, for those listeners who don't know, I guess it was 28 years ago. She came in to get help from Bobby Baker, who used to work for Bobby. And Bobby's the one that actually met her. And Bobby said, "Well, who are you here for?" And she says, "Well, I'm here to see Bobby Baker, not you." And it was classic. She did say that Bobby's much smarter than you on cars. No, she didn't say that.
Folks, that's all the time we have. Please remember, next week is the final edition of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. 10/10/2020, 10 to noon Eastern Time. Don't miss it. Like us, you'll love us.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic is a copyrighted presentation of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated and may not be reproduced or rebroadcast without the express written approval of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated.
Insurance 101, courtesy of Grundy Insurance. Uninsured motorist liability and underinsured motorist liability are both important aspects of vehicle insurance, as they can protect you against an at-fault driver who is not insured or doesn't have enough insurance. Important to note, the definition of who's insured refers to people, not vehicles listed on a particular policy. So the uninsured or underinsured limits you select for your policy for your everyday cars will transfer over to you when driving your collector car. Find out more at Grundy.com. That's Grundy.com. Your vehicle a little sluggish, throwing off trouble codes? Take action with Berryman's B12 Chem Tool featuring HEST, or high-energy solvent technology. Using HEST with high-powered detergents, Berryman B12 Chem Tool provides a 1-2 punch to knock out carbon deposits. But don't take our word for it. According to Thomas, your products are so underrated. This stuff flat out works, and you can't beat the price. Thank you for making such a great product. Learn more about Berryman products and their HEST technology at BerrymanProducts.com. That's BerrymanProducts.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
P. Ricey Outfitters, I'm Tina. How can I help you?
I'd like to place an order.
Great. Which item?
The cotton roll neck sweater, large.
Okay. Periwinkle, Loden, or caramel?
The caramel, please.
The what?
I'd like it in caramel.
Oh, the caramel?
Yeah, that's what I said, Tina.
Actually, you said caramel when it's pronounced caramel.
Can't we just call it yellow?
No.
Everyone knows the best part of a Milky Way. They just don't know how to say it. After all, it's our caramel.
It's caramel.
Ugh, that makes a Milky Way great.
You start my morning, you stir in my soul, you warm my heart, make me feel whole. Your aroma calls me, starts my morning. Happy morning, your name is Folgers Mountain Grow. Now you're here.